Cowboy Bebop. Let's break down the injuries, fights, and medical scenes. Hey, I'm Dr. Azmain. Whatever you think of Netflix's live-action anime adaptation, already cancelled, rip. It's got some brutal scenes just begging for medical analysis. Let's get straight into episode 1. Cowboy Bebop takes place in the 2070s. Earth has become uninhabitable and humans have colonized and terraformed the planets of the solar system. We open during a heist at a space casino. Okay, so this dude Tanaka is ranting about capitalism and whatnot. Blood splattered everywhere, people lying dead on the floor. And then our hero Spike the bounty hunter turns up and he punches the heck out of Tanaka. Spike's partner Jet crashes in to join the action. Epic gunfight scene commences. So how does a gunshot wound actually kill you? So it can rupture major arteries causing a fatal bleed. Or it can shatter bones which then in turn rupture major arteries and organs. The heart then pumps harder to keep blood supply going around the body, but it just keeps gushing out the open wound. And if the heart is hit directly, then it could just stop. And of course a headshot is incompatible with life. I mean, what do you expect if your brains get blown out? Okay, so it can damage your brain's autonomic center, which controls your body's automatic functions like breathing. And there are parts of our brain that are specialized for speech, movement, vision, hearing, thoughts, decision making. Yeah, that all gets turned to mush. So what do you do if someone gets shot? Seek emergency help ASAP. This is time critical. Try to stem the bleeding by applying manual pressure. If a limb is affected, use a tourniquet high and tight on the limb. That's because catastrophic hemorrhage is the major cause of death. Anything you do to stop external bleeding will help, because there's not much more you can do without medical training. If you're enjoying so far, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe below for more reaction videos like this. Spike stabs a dude in the abdomen. That's right over the aorta or maybe the celiac plexus. That could result in a fatal bleed. Or yeah, you could shoot him in the heart to finish him off. Whatever you fancy, mate. Okay, so this dude Frank has taken a restroom break in the middle of a heist. Time and a place, my dude. He's got to disrupt a gun. I've watched enough science fiction to know what's about to happen here. Don't be an idiot, dude. Don't fire it. Oh, he pulled the trigger. That's real nice. Disintegrating the fabric of reality, all that jazz. Speaking of jazz, the soundtrack is super dope. It's by the original composer Yoko Kanno, and at least that's one good thing about this adaptation. Okay, so this poor sod got sucked out into space. We see his floating body frozen stiff almost immediately. That's not entirely accurate. Let's talk about what could happen without a spacesuit in space. If you were ejected out of an airlock, say. No, it could happen. Well, the first thing is the lack of oxygen. Your body starts to use up your reserve oxygen in the first 15 seconds or so, and then you'll probably lose consciousness. If you try holding your breath, your lungs will probably explode immediately. That's because due to the lack of external pressure in space, the gases in your lungs expand rapidly. The water in your body starts to vaporize, so your skin and organs start to swell. You're exposed to all kinds of cosmic radiation, including direct sunlight that could give you a massive sunburn. But you won't freeze immediately like this poor dude. The body heat disperses more slowly due to the lack of convection or conduction. After all, there's not much air or matter for the heat to transfer to in the vacuum of space. And finally, your unprotected body wouldn't really decompose like it would on Earth. There's no oxygen in space. It would eventually freeze, or it would mummify if it gets too close to a star, and then just float through the vastness of space for millions of years. Have fun sleeping tonight. Okay, so Spike and Jet are chilling, eating some bell peppers and beef. I really hope a physicist can explain to me how it's possible they're just sitting on a couch in space without a seatbelt and not just floating into midair. My dudes, can you create artificial gravity on a spaceship without some kind of inertial force or acceleration? Let me know. Please enlighten me. So we see a man called Azimov and his partner Katerina. She makes the wise decision not to drink the tequila she's offered because she knows that fetal alcohol syndrome is very dangerous indeed. It can disrupt the baby's development in the womb and cause permanent damage to the brain, spinal cord, and other organs. Asimov squirts a drug called red eye directly into his eye. Kind of reminds me of the show Arcane, when Silco injects the drug Shimmer directly into his eye. You can go watch my reaction to Arcane, link in the description below. Many drugs can actually result in very typical eye signs. Whether it's cocaine, marijuana, amphetamines, heroin, alcohol, they can cause either dilated or pinpoint pupils, bloodshot eyes, drooping eyelids, nystagmus, which is involuntary repetitive eye movements, for example side to side. Just like Arcane, this drug seems to turn Azimov into some kind of Hulk superhuman. He dispatches these henchmen from a criminal gang called the Syndicate and takes their bullets like a champ. Yeah, this dude's right to run away. Looks like we're in a hospital now, and Azimov is holding a poor doctor at gunpoint. He's trying to cauterize his wound with a laser? It's the future. Probably everything runs on lasers. Yeah, man, the smell of cauterized flesh in the operating theater, it's not one that leaves your brain. It just sticks in your nose, man. Oh. Okay, so Katarina probably shouldn't be smoking with child. Good on Spike for taking it off her. He tells her that she reminds her of someone he used to know, but little does she know that Spike and Jet are hunting her boyfriend. And then the purple-haired Faye Valentine turns up. She's a bounty hunter too, but she's not interested in Azimov. She's more interested in Katarina. But Faye and Spike's little tussle means that Azimov and Katarina get away. But Spike and Jet do manage to track them down again. Azimov injects some more red eye. While Spike and Jet are busy trying to beat him to a pulp, the Syndicate turns up, and another gunfight ensues. Katarina is hit directly in the abdomen. Oh my god. Had she just lost her baby? No, she's just stashed a load of red eye vials. If she were really pregnant, then it's very unlikely that the baby would have survived. And if the mother dies, then it's normally unlikely for the baby to survive. Sometimes if a pregnant woman goes into cardiac arrest, doctors will sometimes try a peri-mortem cesarean section, a last-ditch effort to save the mother and baby's life. But sometimes it's just too late. While Spike is mowing down the Syndicate goons, Faye shoots Azimov directly in the neck and he starts bleeding out. Katarina manages to drag him to the spaceship and fly off. But by the time they escape, he's already bled out and passed away. There's a blockade at the spaceport about to open fire. Spike tries to save her because she reminds him of his one true love, Julia. But having lost her true love, she accelerates head first, and the ship is blown to shreds. We see her body floating in space. And she isn't immediately frozen to death like the last dude, so a bit more scientifically accurate. We see one of the Syndicate goons report to Vicious, one of the top-ranking members, to let him know that his ex-best friend Spike has returned from the dead. Vicious doesn't take too kindly to that, and he slashes the poor dude's throat with his katana. It's deep enough to sever his trachea, or windpipe, the neck muscles that support the head, and it's probably severed the carotid arteries and jugular veins on either side, cutting off the brain's blood supply and rapidly bleeding out. And we end the episode with Vicious and Julia, who are now married. No wonder Vicious is unhappy that Spike is alive. Watch my other TV reactions on screen now. What did you think of Netflix's Cowboy Bebop compared to the original anime? Let me know in the comments below and tell me what to react to next. Until next time, see ya, Space Cowboy.